Hi, Vilu. A very good morning to you. Hope you're doing well today.
Good morning, Priyanka. Nice to see you virtually.
Awesome. Vilu, I heard that you have built something very cool, that is the OPD process using AI, which is one of a kind. And it's from Univitt AI. And I would love to take this to the world out there and put it out there, whoever wants to look at it. And all the best clinicians might be interested in looking at this. So can we go over a demo so that we can actually quickly introduce these features to the public out there and make a grand release? So go ahead and give us a demonstration of the entire OPD process using AI.
Priyanka, it's a very different thing that we are doing. Let me give you a very quick, brief introduction on what we have done. Today, AI in hospitals is being focused on the clinical front, and a lot of work has been happening on the clinical side with lots of equipments being AI driven. However, what we thought is, as a CIO, I wanted to, I've seen a lot of operational challenges in the hospital, and I'm sure that using the power of AI, we can actually develop something which is more useful for the promoters, brings in a lot of visibility, what is happening on the ground, and can give them insights and recommendations into how they can very comfortably move from low patient experience to a higher patient experience. And it also removes the challenges of the operational teams who need to understand very quickly where the problem is on a day-to-day basis and address it in real time. So let's start with the demo then.
Sure. I can't wait to see it.
Give me a second while I share the screen.
Sure. Oh, wow. It looks very beautiful. The OPD AI role-based access for the full OPD workflow. That's pretty cool. Vilu, you're on mute. So just to set a context, so this OPD workflow is for admins, doctors, patient registration. So it handles even the patient data, right?
Right. So it will handle the patient data, but currently there will be no patient, privacy data which is used, and it is more from an administrative information. So let me show you as we go ahead. This is a login page very quickly. I'm signing in. I'm on a demo platform. Hence, there will be a limitation on the simulated data, but we can quickly understand exactly what we have built over here. So a lot of people have built various kinds of analytics and dashboards in the HIMS system. However, our USP is very different. And what we have as a differentiator over here is that our dashboards are sitting on top of the HIMS MIS reports. And that will give you a lot of drill down features in which the data will be, there will be clarity on the data on how the summarized versions are created. So let me take you with an overall AI summary, which is more of an insight and recommendation screen. And this screen gives you information on exactly what the promoters or the
Vilu,
CEO
the
or the
admin is the
trustee.
full access, right? Admin can see everything. They can see the patient data, the doctor data, and the
Yes,
analyst data. So they have all the four
yes,
views. So that you have given this
yes.
user view so that our audience can
I'm
understand.
on an admin view. Yes, currently I'm on an
Yeah,
admin view, but we can restrict that. We can remove the administrator from the actual data or the financial data, and we can profile them only to control the user access for the hospital. And we can
got it.
limit this to a CEO or a trustee, as I said. So very quickly, there is an executive brief window. There is a leadership view. It gives you the top priorities. You can open them. There is a summary section of where critical domains need to be addressed, what are the at-risk domains, what are on track, and therefore it also addresses the 6 KPIs which we have currently focused on. So our OPD version is more like a capability platform. So if we want to give that kind of confidence to the hospitals that if you work with us, we can design and we can architect any kind of AI powered analytics which will go across the board of OP, IP, discharge, insurance, and so on. Financials and operations are our key focus over here. Currently, what you're seeing is limited to the OPD. So let me quickly take you through this. We have got 6 KPIs which are designed as a test case right now. We
So,
have got
just
immediate
to
priority.
reiterate, what is NPS, the Net Promoter Score, or
Yeah, it is the net promoter score. So
okay?
we have got 6 KPIs, which will be more clear when I show you the details. But we have got revenue based. This is covering the entire revenue of OPD, right from doctor consultation, services converted, pharmacy, and so on. Doctor productivity gives you a window on individual doctor, how they are working, whether the calendar is set correctly, whether the right doctors are given sufficient amount of OPD session time, whether the doctors are seeing sufficient number of patients that they are, assigned, and whether the doctors have also focused on what do you call it? Their availability. They have to be, communicating correctly with the hospital. They have to be, so all these aspects are considered in the productivity calculation. Then we have the conversion. So doctors consultation is one revenue stream, but when doctors have to support the hospital as part of the hospital OPD, they have to also bring in the service conversions for the hospital. They have to bring in OP to IP admissions. They have to cover an OPD average cycle time. See, if what happens is if one patient is seen for 15 minutes, or another patient is seen for 5 minutes, and a third patient is seen for half an hour, it disrupts a calendar. And it also disrupts the patient experience because some patients have to wait longer than expected. Hence, we need to adhere to certain OPD cycle times. And whether we are adhering or not, whether the doctors are overdoing it, or whether the hospital needs to relook at individual doctor sessions, this OPD cycle time KPI gives us insights into that. And NPS, of course, is, as you said, Net Promoter Score, which is a very big attribute of a patient experience, a patient satisfaction in the hospital. Currently, NPS is limited to the OPD NPS, but we can have detailed NPS for various factors in the hospital for inpatients.
Got it.
Quickly going to the immediate priorities. Leadership actions, it gives you certain actions where the priorities of the leadership should go, where the focus of the leadership is required. And if you can see, there are drill downs. So I'll show you these drill downs also in due course. And very quickly, going across to, so like for example, if that OPD service conversion is very low, to give you an understanding of this, which a CEO would understand straightforward, I won't have to explain to them. Deploy a counselor at OPD exit for the largest drop service group. If your pharmacies are not making the kind of prescriptive revenue growth, because prescriptions by the doctors are given to every patient. Medicine is the most important area where patients are covered. So if they are not going to your pharmacy through the hospital's pharmacy and they're going out and purchasing medicines, it will tell you this analysis will tell you that you are losing out on the pharmacy revenue,
So,
which
I
is
have a
also a
question here. Suppose
factor.
if
Yes.
3 months we use this product, and after the usage of the product, we'll be able to gather enough insights, and we'll be able to measure the leadership KPIs better, right? And we'll be able to hook
Absolutely.
those graphs or the insights that we receive from data, and that'll be more easier for our discussions and meetings, and redefine the KPIs for that quarter or the next quarter, right?
Yes, you have asked the right thing because right question because today the simulated data, though it is across a period of 6 months, which we have created, we may have created hardly 100 patients or 1,000 transactions, but when you go to a real hospital scenario, the data is voluminous, and that voluminous data actually gives a learning curve to the AI engine, wherein trends are picked up, then the analysis is done based on those trends, and the recommendations are more realistic, more practical, and we actually will see better results out of that kind of data. So
Got it.
yes, there is a continuous learning which we have to give the AI from the data perspective. Similarly, add capacity in the top gap specialty, add a fast track lane for follow ups, and so on. These are the realistic recommendations which the AI engine is giving based on the limited data that it has got. This can be more beautifully explained if the data volumes are there, and you'll find that these things are not visible to a CEO or to a promoter when they are actually looking at pure MIS reports. So MIS will give you a lot of transactional data, but it will not give you these kind of insights. So this is one of the key USPs. Cross-signal patterns. Service conversion is feeding the revenue gap, correct? But today the revenue gap is low. So even though the conversion numbers are high and the revenue is low, the same lever closes both, then you have to look at whether the conversions are happening for the high-end specialties like radiology and laboratory, or they are
So
happening for
this
very low-end
a question a
medicines.
question that I have. So this page, what I'm seeing is just insights and recommendations that I have received after 3 months, right? The whole page.
Yes,
So, but I also want
yes.
to see what are the features that is available. So once you are complete with this, if you
I will
can
give you
go over
that
the features.
quickly. Yes. So most important feature is this now when you're seeing the domain briefings. So each KPI card is summarized over here. The key features of this is
It's automatically
for the
summarized, or
revenue.
is it somebody punching all these texts?
So this is currently the summarized view. What is summarized? Let me give you a quick feature view over here. If you can see on the top, on the main page, I will take you to the main page quickly and explain these features more clearly to you instead of just on this. This is the same 6 KPIs. Let me quickly go there.
So whatever text that I'm
So
seeing is auto-generated, right? That's because of the AI
it is
feature
auto
that you're
generated.
mentioning.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
So
nobody
I will
is
show you this.
mentioning that as a, they're not doing some manual effort in putting that
No,
input.
no, no,
But
no.
only the
All
leadership
the
goals are input by somebody else. Like the leadership is
yes.
having control over
Yes,
it
let
and
me
analyze.
explain to you from that perspective. So
Sure.
we have got a complete database. Very quickly, this is the main feature. This on the left-hand column, if you see, these are the tables. Today, they are our tables in our structure. We can easily integrate to an HMS system, an ERP system, an EMR system, and we can quickly bring their data over here. And this is visible as their data format but of course, in a summarized way, because we're not using the patient's PII or PHI information into this data. Second, integration APIs can be very easily put in place, and therefore connecting to their database does not require a full access to their database. They can give us views, they can give us API integrated XML, this data, and we can simply take up whatever they want in the encrypted format of the patient identifiers. So we do not want any patient identifiers at all. So that's the second part.
Why is
Third part
AI
is
why is AI accelerating the existing OPD process? Like, I'm just curious.
so in the OPD, you get pure transactional data. In the OPD, you have got reports which are giving you ground information. However, it is not summarizing it on top. And that is what AI does. So when AI is reading that same data which your normal MIS reports in the hospital read, we are also consolidating that into a very different structure, which is what a CEO would want. I'll give you an example of it very quickly. OPD revenue intelligence. If you see, I've got a target OPD footfall over here, which is what a CEO defines to his operation teams at the start of the year, at the start of the financial year or a calendar year, be it the way a hospital runs. There is a target revenue and there is a footfall. Now, a hospital will define its OPD target footfall basis the capacity that the hospital has to consider that many people walking in. It can be through appointments, it can be without appointments, as we say, an appointment patient or a walk-in patient. This footfall
And
is further
hopefully all of these footfalls are for general health checkup and not really for any
yes.
disease per se.
No,
Hopefully
it
everybody
is
gets
required for
well and
everybody.
happy. Yeah.
I agree, but it is required for everybody. And this kind of data is now pro rata basis. It is distributed over a period. If you can see this today, week, month, quarter, year, custom. Custom is designed by us specifically to see the past data trends, while this today, week, month, year, quarter, and year is designed to give you the current uh, data. So it is week to date, month to date from the financial year starting. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah.
Corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
when
welcome
you
back,
look at
Bilu.
OPD,
Go ahead.
yeah, when you look at OPD revenue intelligence, week to date will show you this information week to date. That is, today is the June 8th. You have got from 1st June, from 8th June backwards to 1 week. Month to date is 8th June. Month to date, I'll just show you how it quickly refreshes the dashboard. Quarter to date will give you the quarter, and when you look at all this, you will see this target changing. So this is a dynamic target which is kept as a quick visible target, and the CEO or the trustees or the promoters do not have to calculate anything. So it's not only AI powered, it is AI powered with a very dynamic visibility. And then you have got OPD revenue intelligence, which gives you, okay, you have got 16 crores target revenue for a quarter. Out of that target revenue, you have achieved only 5.4 crores. So it's a immediate visible figure. It's not like you have to go through hundreds of rows of transactions to understand this. Therefore, you easily understand that 33% is achieved. 5.6 crore is your expected revenue from a past trend of 6 months, which we have built. Now, this is again very dynamic because this is our 6 months simulated data, but a hospital simulated real data will be very, very accurate. And therefore, there is a 7.2% growth from a previous quarter. Now you tell me, Priyanka, does just transactional reports give you this kind of intelligence in from any report? No, it will not. This is from my years of experience. We have got a very quick graph view also, which has a bucket, which the CEOs will love to see it. And it gives you a graph with actual revenue, hospital target, and expected target in terms of a visibility. Where is your actual hospital target and where are we today? You understand? So this is a very
So all
visual
these
thing.
systems, like the billing systems, the current appointment systems, or the appointments can be done on the system itself. They're all rigged up at the back end. So that's how they are connected to the back end. And they are, so basically the data has been utilized to put an AI layer on top, and the AI layer is going to function this better. So can you
Yes.
just focus on the AI parts so that it'll be easier
Hmm.
for our audience to understand what are these AI
That's what I'll
interpretations
show you.
that you're actually carrying out when it comes to billing or when it comes to doctor utilization or any predictive insights that you're giving, like the AI piece of it? So that would be our last question for today.
So if you see this, that is exactly what I've done now to give you the understanding. So if you see there is a view statistics and there is an AI interpretation over here. When I click on this, this interpretation window with its recommendation comes up. If I click on this, the statistics come up. The statistics gives you a more breakdown of this part over here, and it gives you these red and green arrows, which visually explain quickly something is going up and moving, improving. Something is going down. It needs your focus. Interpretations are purely AI generated, where it studies the data, the past trend, and it gives you an understanding. This is much more brief today. It can be as detailed as possible from real data. And if you see, just to explain one, against a hospital target, build OPD revenue is behind the committed hospital target by so much. So the organization is missing its strategic revenue commitment for the selected period. This is just a statement, a fact. However, against a 6-month trend, the billed OPD revenue is behind by only this much, as against this, if you see, expected from current footfall and the trailing 6-month monetization trend by this much. So when these figures are looked at, immediately the CEO's mind starts thinking. Recommendation is treat this as a monetization efficiency issue, review revenue per visit, case mix, conversion to billed services, and billing leakages in the largest gap departments first. And where do you see your largest gap departments? Right here. The drill down from here takes you to the department breakdown. It shows you where exactly your revenue
Wow.
leakages exist and what revenue efficiencies can be corrected. So if you see the red, we have tried to use a traffic light signal only to make it simple. So orange is your amber, your red is your critical, and green is your good.
And then they
So
can
there is
do
no
some root cause analysis with these insights, right? Like, why is it not meeting? Is there like people are getting healthy, or it could be reason that people are choosing different
exactly.
hospitals? So they can make those business decisions according to the reports. So one more question that I had, all this beautiful the AI suite that you've built, what are the algorithms that has been used at the back end? Because privacy and usage of the right technical tools is crucial in today's day and age. So that would be my final question for today's demo.
See, we are using many AI libraries. There is a whole technical document on this. But what I can assure you is that when we are using the algorithms, AI algorithms, we are using NPL also, and we are using LLM, which is majorly used in this area. And these LLMs are only restricted to the data that I give here. So therefore, the privacy of the database is completely sacrosanct. Why? Because since I'm not using any kind of patient data. If you see, you cannot see any patient data anywhere in my screens. So I do not need to know which patient did not pay, which patient did not. I am not exactly trying to use any patient data which disrupts any kind of privacy requirements. So it is DPDPA compliant. We are limiting to encrypted patient. No, so if I want to know how many unique patients I'm considering, I only need the count. I don't need which are those patients. I'm not giving you whether the patients are more from Mumbai or whether this. So I don't need the patient address. I do not need the patient's ID. I do not need the patient's age and gender as of now. That kind of information is already available on your transactional reports. What I am
Mm-hmm.
trying to give you is administrative information, which is more on a growth revenue path, on an operational improvement path, and only NPS considers feedback of patients, which are telling you how many patients are promoters, how many are detractors, how many are drifters, how to convert those drifters into promoters, and so on. Where are the challenges of service which are existing, and those challenges are picked up by our data in our database? What is the negative feedback that we are getting? And we are only processing that information. So when you are when you are, giving me the accurate database related data, we will be able to use our LLMs in a much, much more, proficient way.
Got it. So, thank you so much, Vilu, for this wonderful demo. If our audience have any questions, they'll definitely reach out to us, and we're available at Univitt AI. And another just ethical question, especially when it comes to hospital sensitivity of data. So I think it is DPDP compliant. That is something excellent. We needed somebody like you to come on board, who understands the whole CIO process end to end. Running hospitals digitally is definitely a challenge in today's day and age. And it's not just a hospital; even a small multi-specialty clinic, is anywhere like in secondary towns of India, can be deployed. And we are happy to attract audience from other countries as well. So let's just get this process running. So thank you so much, Vilu, and let's see
It has
how
been my pleasure,
our
Priyanka.
audience are going to react to this.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vilu.
Hope for the positive.